Hello, and welcome back to Moon Magic Bedtime Stories. Tonight, we join Princess Cinderella for another full, 10-minute adventure. In the royal loom room, the magical threads of the kingdom's tapestries are fading to gray. The royal weaver, once a master of color, can only produce dull, lifeless cloth. This is a curious story about a forgotten source of magic, a dried-up spring, and the importance of remembering and nurturing the things that give our world its color. So snuggle in, and let the story begin. In a sun-drenched room in the castle, filled with the gentle click-clack of the great royal loom, worked a woman named Elara. For 60 years, she had been the royal weaver. The tapestries she created were legendary, not just for their beautiful designs, but for their colors: blues as deep as the midnight sky, reds as vibrant as the summer roses, and golds that seemed to be woven from pure sunlight. Her secret, she would say with a smile, was in the threads. But lately, the magic had vanished. The threads, which once glowed with life, now came off the loom in shades of dusty gray. The vibrant reds were now the color of dried mud, and the brilliant blues were the color of a stormy sea. A deep sadness had settled over Elara. She worked and worked, but every new tapestry was more lifeless than the last. The royal advisor, on an inspection tour, stormed into the loom room. "Elara, this is unacceptable," he declared, holding up a drab, gray cloth. "The festival of the twin moons is a month away. We cannot decorate the castle with these dish rags. I am ordering new, chemically dyed threads from the northern provinces. They are bright, efficient, and consistent." Elara looked at her hands, stained with the faint memory of color. "But the old ways, the magic, the old ways are failing," the advisor interrupted. "Progress demands we move on." He left, leaving Elara surrounded by her colorless creations, her heart as heavy as a stone. Cinderella found her there, quietly weeping. "He doesn't understand," Cinderella said softly, placing a hand on the old weaver's shoulder. "Your tapestries are more than just decorations. They tell the story of our kingdom. But the story has lost its color," Elara whispered. "I have forgotten the secret. The threads. They no longer sing to me." Cinderella spent the afternoon in the loom room, looking at the old tapestries that still hung on the walls. They were bursting with life. She noticed that in the corner of each one was a tiny, embroidered image, a small, bubbling spring surrounded by glowing flowers. "Elara, what is this spring you have woven into every tapestry?" she asked. Elara looked, her eyes clouded with memory. "The spring of hues. My grandmother, the weaver before me, told me stories. She said it was the source of all color. But it is just a story. A fairy tale." That night, Cinderella told the prince about the weaver's fairy tale. She called it the Spring of Hues, but she believes it isn't real. Still, it must have been important to her family. The prince, a lover of history, went to the royal archives. He returned hours later with a dusty, leather-bound journal. It was the diary of the castle's first groundskeeper. "Listen to this," he said, his voice filled with excitement. He read from a faded page. "Asteriski have been tasked with the strangest duty. I must tend to the small spring at the heart of the forgotten garden. The royal weaver insists its waters are essential for her magical threads. She calls it the Spring of Hues. A foolish fancy, but the princess insists it be maintained." The forgotten garden," Cinderella exclaimed. "It was real." "It was," the prince said, his face falling. "According to the journal, It was walled off 100 years ago when the new eastern wing of the castle was built. It has been abandoned ever since. The next morning, Cinderella, armed with old maps from the archives, found the hidden entrance to the gardener, small iron door completely covered in ivy. Behind it was a world lost to time. It was a wild, overgrown place, beautiful but neglected. After a long search, she found it. A small, circular stone basin, filled not with magical water, but with dry dirt and dead leaves. The spring of hues had run dry. Cinderella understood. The magic wasn't a fairy tale. It was real, and it had been forgotten. The source of the weaver's beautiful colors wasn't just a story. It was a living part of the castle that had been neglected until it had withered away. She gathered the castle gardeners. They worked for days, clearing the weeds, removing the dirt and debris from the spring, and carefully redirecting an ancient, hidden aqueduct that had been blocked for a century. Slowly, miraculously, water began to seep back into the stone basin. At first, it was just a muddy trickle. But as the sun warmed the stones, the water began to swirl with faint colors. By the next morning, the spring was full of water that shimmered with a soft rainbow light. Cinderella collected a single flask of the water and brought it to Elara. She didn't speak. She simply handed the flask to the old weaver. Elara uncorked it, and the scent of wet earth and blooming flowers filled the room. She dipped a single, gray thread into the shimmering water. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, like a sunrise, a vibrant, perfect red spread up the thread, glowing with an inner light. Tears of joy streamed down Elara's face. "I remember," she whispered, holding the glowing thread as if it were the most precious thing in the world. "Oh, I remember." The new chemical dyes from the northern provinces were sent back. And for the festival of the twin moons, the castle was decorated with the most beautiful tapestries the kingdom had ever seen, their colors more vibrant and magical than ever. And so, Cinderella reminded the kingdom that the newest and most efficient ways are not always the best. She showed them that true magic, creativity, and color come from a source that must be remembered, nurtured, and loved. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a like and subscribe to Moon Magic Bedtime Stories for more wonderful tales. Thank you for joining us. We hope you have a peaceful and happy night. Remember to look after the hidden springs of magic in your own life. They are the source of all your brightest colors. We'll see you for the next story.